All right, well, today is May the 9th, 2018, and today we had mostly clear skies in the greater Los Angeles area. Yesterday, Tuesday, was a different story. That was some of the worst aerosol spraying I've ever seen. We had a whiteout most of the afternoon, beginning at around noontime and lasting all the way till about 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Then it started to clear out a little bit. What happened was we saw a tropical flow moving right into central and southern California. We can see that that whole the moisture field that was moving right into southern California has been, for the most part, squashed. And we see a second. This is actually part of the jet stream. We'll take a look at that map later on. This is the jet stream flow moving right into a portion of that moving into northern California. And we can see a transmitter at work right here disrupting the moisture in that jet stream. Let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. And we can see what's happened here, the evaporation taking place as this flow pattern moves right towards California. And of course, the aerosol spraying has been very intense the last few days up in the central California area. I was up there for 4 days, and we saw some very heavy spraying up there for the same reasons. We had rain opportunities, a moisture field moving right into central California, and of course the map, the video we covered up there documented that along with the Doppler map. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Doppler map right now. We can see that the state of California is completely bone dry. There's nothing going on. There's no precipitation. We can see that a low pressure system up over Idaho and Montana is generating some precipitation, and also out here over the Michigan area and Great Lakes we see a much larger low pressure system. But California once again is being robbed of precipitation, and hopefully the people at the EPA, I mentioned Scott Pruitt the other day, he's a new guy. I don't know his background, but he's the head of the EPA. Certainly, the EPA should be involved in in what's going on with this chemical aerosol spraying in our skies all over the country and around the world. Those long trails that are sprayed by the specially equipped jets are not clouds. That is to say that those trails are not water vapor. We can see the difference between the clouds and that is the natural water vapor laden clouds and these trails that these specially equipped jets spray. So we have the color difference, and of course the behavior of these chemical aerosols behave very differently than the natural clouds, which are quite rare in the skies these days. So let's get back to the big map here, and we have the northeast Pacific water vapor loop, and we see this jet stream flow heading right towards Northern California, yet there is no precipitation despite this deep layer of moisture right here moving into Northern California. So what does that mean? That means that Northern California is being sprayed right now heavily to prevent precipitation from this incoming moisture field. We just looked at the Doppler map. There's zero rain in anywhere in California. Over here by the Hawaiian Islands, we can see a rectangular imprint on a developing low pressure system right here. We'll take a look at that. Up here we have two lows. We've got actually a storm right here. We'll take a look at that on the surface analysis map. And we have a second low pressure system right over here. So we've got two lows, and this one is moving right towards this other low. So what should happen, what we would expect to happen under the normal laws of physics is that two low pressure systems would come together. They shouldn't be split by a division of high pressure, but that's exactly what's happening here. We can see that split. That's a man-made transmitter generated, a satellite transmitter generated blockade to prevent this storm system right here from merging and mixing with this low right over here. So the terrorists controlling our weather are doing all sorts of things. They're disrupting the jet stream into California, number one, and number two, they're separating two lows right there on the map. We can see that, and we can see here on the infrared map the effect of that transmitter manipulation. And once again, CO2 is a cover story. That's a completely false story. It's fake news. Has nothing to do with what we're seeing here on these maps. These rectangles we see on these weather systems are satellite generated from space, either by laser or by coherent microwave. And this activity weakens and prevents the development of the low pressure system. Let's go ahead and look at some of these other maps. Here we have the western U.S. water vapor loop. We can see that jet stream diving down towards California, but look at the transmitter manipulation right here, the evaporation that's going on, completely evaporating this moisture as it moves right towards California. Now, with this flow pattern, we can expect to see, that is, if this dives down far enough tomorrow into the Southern California area, we're going to see more heavy chemtrail spraying. And of course, the chemtrail spraying is done to prevent the precipitation process. And so we have terrorists controlling our weather. They're not allowing sufficient precipitation in this state. Right now, the total for the year, the seasonal total right now is 10.59 inches here in the Southern California foothill areas. 10.59 inches. Last year we had more than twice that much. So tomorrow, it's about a 90%, I would say 80 to 90% chance that we're going to see a lot more spraying, unless this area here is pumped up with high pressure, which is doubtful because right now we have a barometric pressure of 29.96 inches right now at 8 p.m., which is down. This morning and yesterday and the evening prior, we had a solid 30.15 on the barometer, and that's dropped. So we're down at 29.96. The temperature right now is 69 degrees. We've got a relative humidity of 61%. The barometer, or rather the dew point, is 55 degrees. So it's a bit slightly muggy if you've been out in the yard working or out walking or whatever it is, biking. But certainly by tomorrow, if this drops down, this area of moisture here, we should expect to see more spraying. Unfortunately, that's what we're expecting. We should be having rain. Of course, this is moisture. All this in the rainbow map here, the infrared map, this is all moisture, and this scale down here represents the depth of the moisture. So the orange and red indicates a much deeper pocket of moisture, like what we're seeing right here. So we know that Northern California is being sprayed because of the fact that there's no precipitation taking place, not only in Northern California, but everywhere else, and most of Nevada. If we go back to that Doppler map, we can see that Nevada right now is mostly bone dry, except for near the Utah border. Okay. So that is the situation here on the West Coast. Once again, we have two low pressure systems being separated by an installed area of high pressure. We can see that here in the water vapor map. So there are weather satellites in space that are equipped to manipulate the jet stream and install high pressure, like what we're seeing right here, right on top of the jet stream. This is jet stream flow, and yet we're seeing this huge opening, which is causing the evaporation of this moisture as it dives right towards California. See that right here? That is a satellite-based transmitter-generated hole right on top of the jet stream. This is an atmospheric river of water, and this is very unnatural. And of course, the useful idiots on television, mainstream television, are not showing this information to the viewers. They show us the cartoon maps and the animated basically animated cartoon weather. So the mainstream media is fully on board. They are an enemy of the American people because of this activity. The fact that they're not reporting what we're showing here. This is a government, this is the NOAA satellite maps we're looking at here every day. Goes west, water vapor, government maps.gov websites, NOAA. And so the people on TV, these useful idiots, these personalities, these celebrity wannabes are not showing us these maps. They're instructed not to. So that this scam, this weather manipulation scam and betting, derivatives betting scam can continue. Now, looking at the Hawaii map, we see this developing low pressure system with a rectangle imprint, and that is preventing moisture from wrapping back around into that vortex, which is right here. This is the center of the lowest pressure of the weather system center. And we see that this is being blockaded and manipulated by a transmitter. That's what's causing this rectangular imprint. It has nothing to do with carbon dioxide gas or smokestack emissions. This is satellite transmitter manipulation going on. It's not being reported because the climate change narrative would be exposed, and the taxes being levied in countries around the world would fall. It would collapse. People would go to jail. This is a huge scandal, every bit as big as the corruption at the FBI and the CIA, the people that are trying to overthrow the executive branch of our government. Okay, so whatever your political affiliation is, certainly we should all agree that prevention of the rain is covert manipulation of our weather is a criminal act, especially when California is dry as a bone and we have 115 million dead or dying trees in the forests. California used to be a beautiful state run by pioneers, people that were self-sufficient, and sadly enough, the state is just falling. It's just collapsing into a socialist condition with the people running the state, the political so-called leaders. It's a mess. And so it's a real shame because those people running our state are ignoramuses. They are not equipped to deal and understand what's going on with our with the climate. This is climate control. It has nothing to do with carbon dioxide. So here's the water vapor map. We see the infrared map. Same situation here. We have a lot of manipulation right here in the center. We can see a lot of turbulent activity right here as this weather system is manipulated. Okay, next we have the East Pacific water vapor loop, and we can see this area of thunderstorms. This is blown apart. This was targeted a couple of days ago. There was a huge area of thunderstorms developing. That's all been superheated. We can see that there is some areas here. This area is being sort of rebuilding. We have a low pressure system right here spinning counterclockwise over the mainland of Mexico, right there. Keep an eye on that. And then we have the surface analysis map right here, showing that storm up near the Aleutian Islands right here heading north. Another low over here. But these two are we're moving together, and we see high pressure between these two lows to separate and maintain separation. So this is a man-made high pressure area installed between these two lows. Right over here we have a trough shown, some unstable air right over the central and southern California area. That probably is why we have lower pressure today. Okay, so we're running out of time here. Swell report, we see 10-foot swells right off of Southern California right here, and 18-foot seas where that low pressure system is situated. Okay, that's it. We'll try to get another update here real soon. There's the jet stream. That's it.